Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be filming my 36-week pregnancy update. So I have shared a couple of different pregnancy updates. I did my announcement, first trimester, 20 weeks, and then a second trimester, and then I wanted to do a 36-week update as kind of like a last update before baby arrives. And I wanted to make sure I got it filmed before I turn 37 weeks, which I will get into why in this video. So I'm going to do what I did in my other videos. I'm just going to share kind of my symptoms, things that have happened since the beginning of my third trimester, and then what is going on here in the next couple of weeks. So in terms of symptoms or things that I've noticed, I've just been taking notes, so I have them here on my phone. The first thing I noticed when I got into my late second trimester and then the third trimester was that I am dropping everything. I cannot keep anything in my hands. I cannot not knock things over. I have no idea what this is about. I've never heard of this. Actually, I was watching somebody and she did an update where she said this was happening to her too. And so, so far I've broken 3 glasses in our house. So my friends, they've been coming over and hanging out in our backyard, and so I would bring them wine glasses because they're having wine. I'm not. And I broke both of those glasses when they were over, and then my brother, he had a glass of water when he was here, and I just literally knocked it over on the counter and it broke. It shouldn't have broken, and it did. So that's really weird. I'm getting really tired of it, especially because I can't pick things up. So that's very odd. I'm very hungry in the mornings, and I think it's just because I get very full at the end of the day from drinking so much water and just having less room. So I tend to eat a pretty big breakfast in the morning, and then I will snack more throughout the day, so that's different. And it's even noticeable when I have water and coffee in the morning, I'm still very hungry. So I've just been eating in the morning and listening to myself as I need to, listening to my body cues. At 29 weeks, I started to get a lot of hiccups. That's been consistent. She has a lot of hiccups as well. She gets hiccups pretty often, but it's been something very common with me. I was also having some nausea during that time. I wasn't very nauseous, but I noticed it, and I noticed I needed to get saltines again, and that I was having headaches. So that was going on. It was really, really minor. It didn't impact anything, like my ability to work out or anything like that. It just was something that I noticed. I had one incident of a sciatica pain when walking when I was at Costco, and it was very sudden and very fast, and I could feel it, and then that's really been the only one. I'm still having a lot of hip pain when sleeping. I think I mentioned that in my last video, my second trimester update, and so I've just added even more pillows around me, and I'm almost there, so I'm not really concerned about it. I'm still sleeping pretty well, and honestly, I'm not even getting up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, which I'm pretty thankful for, because I'd much rather just wake up in the middle of the night and flip and go back to sleep and then have to get up and go to the bathroom, because that tends to be if I do that, I'll be up the rest of the night, or I'll be up for a couple of hours, which has happened more, I've noticed. I tend to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I can't fall back asleep, and when that happens, I'll either just get up for the day, if it's a weekend, or I will just end up falling back asleep around 5, and then I'll sleep for an extra hour from 5 to 6 before I start my work day. At 32 weeks, I noticed more cracking in my bones. My back is cracking, and I can stretch and flex, and my back will crack. So that's just my bones loosening up a little bit more. A lot of nesting and a lot of organizing. I labeled everything in the house. My friend is a label maker, and I labeled as much stuff as I could. It's driving Jake absolutely bonkers, but I want everything to be in the right place, and so I keep moving stuff until I find it to be the right place, and it's driving me crazy. So I feel really bad, but it is what it is right now. I was watching someone else's video, and she said something that I thought was very interesting, that she is also in her third trimester in nesting mode, and she's like, I am nesting so hard that nothing is good enough for this baby. And I feel like that is totally true. Nothing that I'm organizing or doing is going to be good enough for her, but it's so funny because that none of it's really going to impact her. All of it is me. So it makes no sense. I have had a lot of rib pain, which I've never heard anyone say that, but I have a lot of rib pain going on. I noticed that at 34 weeks. And then in terms of like foods I've been eating and craving, I've been eating more intuitively, just because I need to be eating the extra calories, and I just am hungry more than I had been. So I'm just eating, listening more to my body cues than I have been tracking. But in terms of food, I'm really into yogurt and cottage cheese, which I've heard you crave more dairy during your pregnancy, that for various reasons. I thought maybe it was the calcium. I've heard that it's like potassium or something like that. But yeah, I've noticed that a lot. So I've been eating cottage cheese by like the container. It's so good. And I've really not been interested in like eating chicken a lot, which is pretty much the only meat I eat. I do eat turkey, but I haven't been getting that, and I'm just not really interested in that. So most of my protein sources have been coming from egg whites and the yogurt and cottage cheese, and then protein bars, which I know eating those is not the best, but they're like, I'm like craving them and they taste really good, so I just have been eating them. The other food item that I have been enjoying, and this is kind of interesting because my mom ate this when she was pregnant with me. She ate it because she had low iron, is cream of wheat, which I love cream of wheat. My mom made it a lot when I was growing up, so there's that element. But I remember Jake was going to the store and he was like, do you want anything? And I was like, let's get some cream of wheat. And I eat it multiple times per week. I'm probably gonna have it tonight for dinner, honestly. So I'll have it for dinner, I'll have it for breakfast. It's so good. I have not been liking oatmeal lately, like for the majority of my second trimester, and I can't even tell you, I did have overnight oats a couple weeks ago, but cream of wheat is just so much better. So that I thought was interesting, especially because my mom ate it a lot when she was pregnant with me. So in terms of being ready, apologies if I swivel, I have my office chair here I'm sitting in. In terms of being ready, we are pretty much good to go. We have the car seats installed. We have everything we need in the nursery. We're waiting on a crib. A friend of mine is donating, giving me her crib. So we don't need that right away. So I told her that we'll just get it when she's ready to pass it along, because her son is in transition to like a big kid bed. The house is very clean. We're getting rid of some stuff in the basement, which is really nice, like a couch that we don't need. And I have mentioned this on my Instagram, but we finished our basement gym, which is very exciting. Very happy about that. So we have a squat rack and it's completely organized down there now for us to have our at-home gym. We canceled our gym memberships, so it's very exciting to be able to have everything here at home and be able to do all of our workouts from home and not have to worry about the gym with regards to cost, because that was a monthly cost, which obviously we invested in a squat rack, so that's a cost, but we are saving like $400 a year by doing that just this year by getting rid of our gym memberships. And then we don't have to worry about anything with COVID or the getting sick or not getting there, because we're going to be busy, I assume. So that'll be really nice. And then once the couch is gone, we're going to kind of reorganize, and we're literally, our basement will be half gym, and then the rest is like the laundry room and storage, and like that's it. So I'm very excited about that. And then we're really just ready to go, which is a good thing, because at my 36-week appointment last week, I went and they told me she is not fully head down. So we're going to try and have her flipped here on this upcoming Wednesday. So I'm 36 weeks, 5 days. So they're going to do it on the day I turn 37 weeks. So she'll be term. And they do that because there's a very, very small chance that it can lead to an emergency C-section. So this way she's fully term, so there's a little bit less of a risk in terms of if she were to come early. Still very scary to say that, but we had discussed this a while ago, that if she were to end up not being head down, my doctor did not say she's breech, but she did confirm that she's not fully head down, which I kind of knew going into that appointment that was what she was gonna say, but having her confirm it was very hard to hear, because having a C-section is pretty much the one. I mean, there's a lot of things that I obviously don't want to happen, but that probably was one of my greatest fears of it happening. So we're gonna try and have her flipped on Wednesday. If she doesn't flip, I'll have to have a C-section at 39 weeks. If she does flip, hopefully she stays, but I think it's going to be challenging to get her to be fully head down for a couple of reasons. The biggest reason is that I'm just so tiny. I'm so petite. My rib cage and my pelvis basically bump against each other, so there is just not any room for her to get fully head down. So the other reason that it's, I think, kind of challenging, and I read this online, and my doctor kind of she's mentioned it a few times, that I'm all belly, like I'm all baby, and that can happen if you're like athletic. Your stomach tends to be tighter, like if you had abs before, and I did, and so my stomach is very tight. Like, I've watched a few of these procedures online, like on YouTube, and the ones that I've watched, these girls have room, like you can see it as they're pressing their belly, for there to be some give. There is no give on my stomach. My stomach is very tight. It is all baby, and so I'm concerned that there's just not going to be enough room for them to even be able to move her, and I don't know. She just needs some help. She really wants to be head down. I can tell by the way she's moving, and you can tell by the way she's sitting that she wants to be head down. I just don't know that there's enough room. So I'm really hoping they can get her to flip the rest of the way. She's almost there. She's not even like transverse. I wonder if I can try and show it to you, but because transverse is a type of breech, but she's not even that. She is almost like this, and so she's almost there, and I'm really hoping that they can get her to move. So I'm pretty disappointed and down about it. I know I can't control that, and I know that it really shouldn't matter, and I should just be happy that, you know, we have modern medicine so that we can take care of it, and if a C-section is needed, I know that I'm just supposed to be okay with it, but it's still very hard, and I didn't want to talk about this until after she came. I wanted to do it in a postpartum update, but since I'm here now and this is what's going on, this is just, my whole pregnancy has been emotionally very hard and very draining, and this is just making it even harder and even scarier with everything going on with the pandemic, and getting to, like, I missed out on so many things that I feel like so many people get to experience when they're pregnant, or in the past they did. Obviously this has been going on for several months now, so this is the new normal, but it's really making me sad. So it's definitely not what we wanted. We really wanted to do things as natural as possible, but at the same time, I can't control this. This is completely out of my control. It's nobody's fault, and really she's healthy and I'm healthy, and that's really what matters. It makes me think about if I had switched over to a birthing center. I think I had mentioned that in a couple of other videos, that our hospital was supposed to become a COVID hospital, but now that we don't have that many cases where they had to do that. So this hospital is fine. They have COVID patients, but it's not like a full COVID hospital. But I was going to switch to a birthing center, and I'm really, really glad I didn't now, because if I had, I would have had to go back to a doctor, and I don't know how that works. Like, if I had left my doctor that I've been seeing for many years to go to a birthing center, if we were in this position with the birthing center, they would probably be trying to get me to a provider to be able to do this and do a C-section. So in that regard, I guess it kind of worked out. I made the right decision to stay with my doctor, and that was one of the reasons I did stay with her, was because if something did happen and I needed to have a C-section, I wanted it to be with my doctor. So there's that. My doctor's out of town this week though, so she's actually not doing the version. Somebody else is, so I just hope it goes well, so that I can, if I do have to have a C-section at 39 weeks, at least it's my own doctor. That would at least make me feel a little bit better. That's everything that's gone on. Honestly, it's been an easy couple of weeks. My entire pregnancy physically has been a pretty easy pregnancy, and I'm very happy for that. I'm very thankful for that. Like I said, it's just emotionally, it's been very hard, and I'm ready to move on so that I can start this new part of my life, and so that I can deal with the recovery that is going to happen, which whatever recovery it is, but especially if it is a C-section, I'm definitely ready to just kind of be there so I can get through it, because I'm definitely concerned about it. I'm a very athletic person, and I can feel like this could be impactful on it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm not planning to do another update video before she comes. I just don't see that happening. There's just not enough time, unless for some reason they do flip her and I end up going to like 41 weeks. Like, that would be the only situation I could see myself doing updated, but I don't think that that's gonna happen at this point. I am going to just try and keep positive and be okay with this. I'm at least getting time to digest it, rather than if it was like we went into natural labor and they told me I had to have one. Like, that would be hard. At least I'm getting time to like digest it and get through it. So very nerve-wracking. Oh yeah, and we don't have a name for her yet. We have two that are like the top contenders, and then we have three more that we like. I think it's going to be one of the two top ones, but I'm definitely nervous about the fact that we don't have a name for her, and it's going to be one of those, when we see her, we're going to choose, and that's definitely not like me at all. So a little nervous about that. I'm hoping it works out well. I'm sure it will. I'm sure it'll be fine, but we don't have a name for her quite yet. I'm gonna do a bump update for you guys. I'm just super casual today. Like, it's actually kind of nice outside. It's like 70 degrees. It's cool, so I'm wearing jeans. But I have just like a really big shirt on. It's nothing fancy, so I'll do bump update for you guys. I'm also gonna try and show you how she's sitting so I can explain like why I don't think she's like a fully breech baby. And I'm hoping they're gonna be able to turn her. I think she just needs a little nudge. So I don't know. I'm just hoping it works out well. So this is what I look like from the front. And Jake says I don't look very pregnant from the front or the back. And then like as soon as I turn, it's like, boom, like I'm all belly. So here's my big old belly. I definitely have the line. I've had that since I was like 18 weeks. Belly button is fully out. But as you can see, like it's all baby. I have no like give, except for like right up here. This is the top of my uterus. I can totally tell this is where it ends. And I turn, you can see she's sitting very high. She has been the whole time, but she's definitely very high. So that's what my belly looks like. So it's very big. Like I said, I'm very petite, so she only has room really to go out. Yeah. And then I'm going to see if I can kind of explain how she's sitting. I'm not a doctor, so this could be breech, but like I said, the doctor didn't actually use the word breech. So yeah, this is her head up here. So it is pretty high, and this is her like butt over here. So her head goes to about here. So it's pretty low in my opinion, and this is her butt. So she's sitting diagonally. So I'm hoping that they can just kind of pull her feet up, because I can definitely feel her feet down here, and just give her the little bit of a nudge that she needs to get her head down here, because if I push on this is also very, like, there's nothing there. So yeah, that's my bump, and that's how she's sitting. Here's a little update of what it looks like when I have a shirt on. So very big. I'm definitely all belly. So that's a wrap on my pregnancy update. It's crazy that I'm doing what will probably be my last pregnancy update. It's been just a wild year in general for me. We got married, and then we were having a baby, and then with everything going on, it's just been kind of craziness, and it's just so weird to think about. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Stick around. There's gonna be some mommy and baby videos coming, so that'll be fun. And I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye.